Hello YouTube, this is the Supreme Haus here, and I am here with, finally after a few days, with a UU battle that I had just a few minutes ago actually. I thought it was really good, so I should upload it. And I played kind of like I usually do. Like, at the beginning I make a bunch of stupid plays, my head's not in the game, and then after a while I start to make good predictions and do okay at least, so that was good. And let's just see this battle. I played with a UU stall team, because stall teams are kind of fun. I just thought I'd try one out. And it took a few battles for me to get used to it, because, you know, there's no sweepers, and I was like, well, I want to sweep something, but I don't have any sweepers, so yeah, it took a few battles to get used to, and finally got a good battle, and that's good, so here it is. Okay, I lead off with my Intimidation. He leads off with a Hitmontop, too, which is kind of funny. We both have Intimidate. I thought he might be a Technotop, but he's not, and I go for Toxic, and he goes for Toxic, and we both get poisoned, and I was like, LOL right here, because we're doing, like, the exact same thing. So, at this point, I'm gonna stay in and go for a High Jump Kick, and he goes for a Stone Edge, so there's a speed tie here, too. And so, seeing that, I'm like, well, he must not have High Jump Kick, so I just switch into, my Greek, because it uses Gyro Ball, and Gyro is a Greek thing. I switch into this guy because I think he doesn't have High Jump Kick, but then he goes for High Jump Kick, so that's kind of fail on me. And I'm going to go for a Protect to stall him down a little bit with poison damage. And make him crash on High Jump Kick, which is good, so he dies. And now he goes out into this thing, and this thing is kind of annoying because it has such high attack. I thought I could take one hit from it, but I don't. So that's kind of saddish. And I go on to Philadelphia because, well, yeah, never mind. I don't know why I named it Philadelphia. I'm really not sure. I just set up my rocks. I can take any physical hit easily because I'm a Steelix, and Steelix has amazing defenses. They're just ridiculous. They're like base 508 defense with max defense impish or something like that. And I Dragon Tail him out into this guy, and yeah, that Arcanine's annoying, so I switch out because I don't want to take a close combat or a Flare Blitz to the face. And unfortunately, he does go for close combat as they switch into my Star Fox, and I'm just going to protect to get some lefties back, but like hoping that I can survive the next one and wish. And I protect to get my lefties, and last turn his close combat did like 55%, and I had 57% of my HP, but then min-max damage kills me, and he kills me off with close combat, which is kind of annoying. So I go into my uncle, because you know the movie Thor? Like, in that movie, one of the characters in that movie is like my great uncle or something like that, which is sort of funny. He's like a minor character, but he's like a character, not like a whatever extra. He's not an extra, but he's like a really small character, which I think is pretty cool. So I named him Thor. And then I go back into Philadelphia as he switches into this guy again. And I kind of just said that for no reason at all. I just thought that was an interesting fact, but probably no one cares, so whatever. Philadelphia's gonna Dragon Tail some people around and get Stealth Rock damage on stuff. I'm kind of mad because my Pharaoh Seed died without me getting to set up any spikes. So that severely diminishes the usefulness of Dragon Tail and Roar and stuff like that. And he's going to go into this thing and sub up on me, which is a good play. Because, you know, Dragon Tail doesn't go through Substitute, which is sort of stupid. But I hit him with a Dragon Tail, and now I'm just going to switch out to my uncle to break his sub. Or roar him out, either way. And he goes for a Hidden Power, and I believe that it's Ice. So that's okay, I guess. I think I'm going to Roost this turn. I'm not sure. I think I Roost this turn. Yep, I go for a Roost, and get most of my HP back, which is good. I know I can stall this thing if his best move on me is HP Ice, because it's not doing that much. So he goes for another HP Ice, and I believe I go for a Thunderbolt to break his sub this turn. I don't know why, I should just use Roar. But, yeah, I'm going to get hit with another HP Ice, and live that with about 20% of my HP, and then Roost back up again, so I'm stalling this thing pretty well. It doesn't have very many useful attacking moves against my uncle, because my uncle's just that awesome. And he goes for a sub, and I'm going to Roost and get all my HP back, and I'm at 100, and that is good. So he has his sub up, and I believe this turn I just roar him out. I don't know why I didn't do it before. So, yeah, I roar him out, and he hurt himself with his sub, and he's going to get hurt with Stealth Rocks when he comes back in, so that is good. And he comes in with this thing, and I don't have that much defense investment on my Zapdos, so I'm going to switch into Philadelphia to take it, because Philadelphia can take any physical hit, like I already mentioned. And this turn, I am... Let's see here. What is it going to say? Yeah, I get flinched this turn. So, but that happens with Iron Head a lot, because Iron Head has a lot of a chance of flinching. When I use my Durant with Iron Head on it, I flinch people all the time. It's so fun. Okay, well, I Dragon Tail that thing out, and it goes back into Arcanine. And this Arcanine will hurt Philadelphia, even though it can take any physical hit, because it's super effective with Arcanine. So I go out into Intimidation to get the Intimidate on him, and lower his attack, and that's good. And now he goes for a close combat, and I only take a little bit of damage, so that's good. I'll be able to live his next hit, even after toxic damage, and retaliate back with High Jump Kick to kill him off. But he just switches into his anal Slowbro, and I get that on that, but it does nothing because he resists it, and Slowbro is also a physical monster. So, that's not so good, and my Hitmontop's getting pretty low, but I'm just gonna Toxic his anal, and then he goes for a Psychic on me, and that will obviously kill me. So, I'm dead, but he got a Toxic on him, which is what I really wanted. And now I go on to my uncle, and I'm going to, I believe, Thunderbolt right here, but he goes out into his Nidoking, I think that's what it's called. Nidoking, and obviously, no, I go for Roost, my bad. Okay, that's good. He was expecting a Thunderbolt, so he went out into that. And I am going to roar his Nidoking out, because I don't really have anything to do to it. I have Thunderbolt, Roar, Substitute, and Roost. And I'm going to go for a Thunderbolt on this thing to try and kill it, because its special defense is not as high as its defense, but it doesn't quite kill it. It lives with like 4 HP, which is a bit stupid, but this turn I believe I'm just going to go for a Roar to try and roar him out and hurt the guy that comes in and to kill him when he comes back. And it goes back into this guy, so that's good. So I got Stealth Rock damage on Nidoking, and I killed that guy. And now Nidoking, I think, is gonna... Wait, no. This guy. Thunder Zapdos. I can't even memorize my own guy's name, which is just pathetic. Zapdos comes in and gets more, or gets hurt even more, and he hurts himself with Substitute. I don't know why he went for Substitute, because I just go for Roar again. And now he's gonna die when he switches in, so that's good. And he goes out into Nidoking. And I don't like this Nidoking, because my Zapdos cannot do anything to it. I was, like, really far behind, but this Zapdos is kind of helping me come back, which is great, because of all the roaring and Stealth Rock hurting. And he goes out into that as a Death Fodder, I guess, because it's just gonna die. And I set up a sub as he does that, which is great. So now I'm behind his sub, and I can roar around, and he goes out to Zapdos, which dies to Stealth Rocks 2, which is awesome. So now it's 3-2, even though it was just 3-4. And back into Nidoking, and Nidoking goes for Ice Beam, and I don't know why, because before he was going for Earth Power, which is really weird. I guess he was predicting my Roost, or something like that, I don't know. And finally he goes for Ice Beam, which is what I thought he was going to do in the first place. So he goes out into his Anal Slowbro, which I just love that name, that's funny. And I'm going to go for a Thunderbolt on it this turn, expecting that it'll probably stay in. And he does, and he hits me with his Psychic, and it gets a Spadoof drop, but that's okay. I know it's special defense, but it's just more fun to say Spadoof. And that's okay with me, and he's going to switch now into his Nidoking, trying to take a Thunderbolt, but I go for a Roar this turn. Right, I go for a Sub this turn, which is awesome. And that's good, because I just got a free Sub since he switched. And he's going to go for an Ice Beam, and I'm going to Roost up again, because I don't want to be at too low health. And that's awesome, because I'm at 100% after lefties, which is great. So yeah, this was kind of a long battle. Now he's going to go for another Ice Beam, and he actually brings me down lower than I was before, so I guess I should have just roared the last turn. But I go for a Roar this turn, and it comes out into this guy. He heals himself a little bit with the Regenerator, but, yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, he healed himself with Regenerator a little bit, but he gets hurt with Toxic, and I'm just going to take him out with Thunderbolt, figuring that he probably won't switch, expecting a Roar and wanting to take this Zapdos out really bad. So this turn, my Zapdos can't do anything to Nidoking, as I already mentioned, now that I can't Roar him because he's the only guy left, so I'm just going to let him kill me off with Ice Beam. And I know I have the win now, because as long as he doesn't get, like, a crit or something, I'm going to be able to Will-O-Wisp him and just stall him out with my Sableye, which is awesome. Which I haven't used my Sableye so far, but Sableye is a pretty good poke. And I don't think it should be BL2. It's definitely at least deserving of UU, with its Prankster and its wide variety of, like, status moves and stuff like that. So I'm going to sub-recover stall him, basically. I'm taking his ice beams really well, too. Better than I thought I would. And that is good. Since I have priority on these moves, there's no way he can take me out, and there's just going to be some stallishness here. So if you want to watch it, you can, or you can listen to me. I don't really care. Because I'm not going to say anything useful anymore, because the match is pretty much over. I guess rate, comment, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. And yeah, comment especially. I need comments so I get better, which I like getting better because that is good. Why would you not want to get better? I'm really. So yeah, good game to ZS Cavalier, and he used an S Cavalier, so I guess that makes sense. And that was a fun match, and see you guys later. Peace out.